chosen one. This is not a suggestion, not a gentle nudge, not another feel. Good message you can set aside until tomorrow. This is a summons from the throne of heaven, and the one who calls you is not smiling politely this time. The days of delay are over. The season of compromise has expired. The same voice that formed the galaxies is now speaking directly into your spirit, not to entertain you, but to awaken you. You have been marked, set apart, appointed for such a time as this, and every second you hesitate, the enemy advances. This is not a rehearsal. This is the moment the prophets saw from afar. The trumpet has sounded, the mantle has been laid across your shoulders, and the fire of God is burning at your feet. Either you step into your destiny, or you step aside, but know this: heaven is not joking, and the next move is yours. The trumpet has sounded, and it is not the soft melody of a distant horn, but the piercing blast of heaven's alarm. Chosen one, understand this: God is not speaking in riddles right now. The sound you hear in your spirit is not your imagination. It is the voice of eternity breaking into time, calling you out of complacency. This blast is not for entertainment. It is not for religious ceremony. It is a declaration that the moment you have been prepared for is now upon you. The prophets of old spoke of days like this, when the watchman on the wall would cry out to the people, "Awake, the hour is here." That hour is not coming, it has arrived. You may have thought there was still time to sit in the shadows, to weigh your options, to wait for a more convenient moment. But heaven's trumpet does not sound for convenience, it sounds for urgency. For too long you may have silenced that inner call, drowned it under the noise of the world, the weight of responsibilities, or the lure of comfort. But when the trumpet of God sounds, every other noise must fall silent. This is not just a call to listen, it is a command to move. The sound that shakes your spirit is the same sound that shook the mountain when the law was given to Moses, the same sound that will one day split the skies when the King returns. This trumpet is not asking if you are ready, it is declaring that the time to be ready has already passed. You have felt the pull before. You have seen the signs, those moments where life seemed to stop, and a sense of destiny wrapped itself around your soul. But each time you delayed, thinking the call would wait for you. Hear me, the trumpet does not wait for the unprepared. The alarm is not a suggestion, it is a summons. When the trumpet blasts, the soldier does not debate, he rises. When the trumpet sounds, the gates are opened and the army moves. The delay is over and the battlefield awaits. This sound is not just for the masses, it is personal. It knows your name. It carries your assignment. Heaven does not waste its voice on those who have no role to play. If you hear the trumpet, it is because your presence is required in the place God has appointed for you, and the longer you linger, the more ground the enemy takes. He will not wait for you to be comfortable, and God will not adjust his timetable to your hesitation. The trumpet is also a line of separation. When it sounds, it divides those who are awake from those who remain asleep. It exposes who is alert and who is distracted, who is prepared and who is unprepared. The blast is a test not to condemn you, but to reveal where your allegiance truly lies. Are you still clinging to what is safe, or will you step into what is sacred? The trumpet will not let you hide in the crowd. It singles you out because you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand, to move, to act. And yet, the trumpet does not just demand action, it carries a warning. The days ahead are not like the days behind. We are entering a season where spiritual neutrality will no longer be possible. The darkness is advancing faster, the storms are forming heavier, and the shaking will intensify. If you remain in your place of hesitation, you will be swept away by what is coming. But if you rise when the trumpet sounds, you will find that heaven's power will carry you through the chaos. The trumpet is not calling you to survive, it is calling you to lead. Think of those who ignored the trumpet in history. Think of Noah's generation, who heard the warnings but went on with life until the rain began to fall. Think of the watchmen in ancient cities, whose blasts could mean the difference between life and destruction. When the trumpet sounded, the wise ran to the wall, the foolish stayed asleep, and the foolish were always the first to fall. You are not called to be counted among them. You are called to hear, to discern, to move. Chosen one, the trumpet is not just about a sound in the air, it is about a stirring in your spirit. You can feel it, can't you? That unshakable sense that something is shifting, that the ground beneath your life is trembling with divine urgency. That what satisfied you before no longer satisfies you now. That is the trumpet at work. It is shaking off your distractions. It is breaking your attachment to what is temporary so that you can take hold of what is eternal. The trumpet is a mercy because without it, you might have slept through your destiny. Do not underestimate this moment. There are seasons when the trumpet sounds only once for a specific mission. Miss it, and it will not return in the same way. The voice of God is not a background noise. It is the command center of the universe. If He is speaking to you now, it is because your assignment is tied to this exact season. Every delay, every compromise, every excuse will cost you something if you refuse to respond. The trumpet is announcing that the clock has shifted, the countdown has begun, and the mission has moved from preparation to execution. The blast is not gentle because the stakes are not small. You have been entrusted with influence, with gifting, with a message, with authority. The trumpet is telling you that the world cannot afford for you to stay silent, hidden, or passive. There are lives tied to your obedience. There are breakthroughs that will only come if you step into position. The enemy knows this, that is why he has worked so hard to keep you distracted. But the trumpet is drowning out his lies, cutting through his fog, and breaking the chains that have kept you still. Responding to the trumpet means you will have to let go. Let go of old fears, old excuses, old patterns. Let go of the safety net of comfort. Let go of the illusion that you have more time. It means stepping into unknown territory with the certainty that God is already there. It means moving even when you cannot see the full path, trusting that the one who calls you will equip you. The trumpet is not calling you to something easy, it is calling you to something eternal. So rise, chosen one. Stand to your feet in the Spirit. Shake off the sleep, the hesitation, the distraction. This is the sound that wakes the dead, that calls dry bones to life, that makes the earth tremble and the heavens open. Do not cover your ears. Do not turn away. The trumpet has sounded, and it is sounding for you. This is not a rehearsal. This is not a suggestion. This is the hour you were created for. The trumpet has spoken. Now the only question is, will you answer? The weight of the mantle is not a garment of comfort, it is a cloak of calling. Chosen one, when heaven places a mantle on your shoulders, it is not to make you look important in the eyes of men, but to set you apart in the eyes of God. This weight is not an ornament, it is a burden of destiny. It is not woven with silk or human approval, but with strands of divine purpose, interlaced with trials, obedience, and sacrifice. Many admire the appearance of the mantle, but few can bear the cost of carrying it. For the mantle carries with it the very heart of God, the urgency of His mission, and the authority of His throne. It is not light because the work ahead is not small. The weight of the mantle presses on you because it is meant to press out everything in you that does not align with heaven. It crushes pride, it breaks self-dependence, it dismantles every false identity you have clung to. It is heavy because it demands your whole life, not a portion of it. You cannot wear this mantle on Sundays and set it aside on Mondays. Once it rests on your shoulders, it becomes part of who you are. You will find that it changes the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you think. You cannot carry it and remain the same. From the moment the mantle falls on you, you are no longer your own. Your choices are no longer casual. They are strategic in the kingdom's plan. Your time is no longer yours to waste. It belongs to the one who called you. Your words are no longer meaningless. They are weapons in spiritual battle. This is why the mantle feels heavy. It shifts the weight of eternity onto your shoulders. But it is a holy weight, the kind that transforms weakness into strength, fear into courage, and ordinary lives into vessels of divine power. Many resist the mantle because they see its cost before they see its glory. They feel the heat of the refining fire and fear they will be consumed. They feel the weight and think they will collapse under it. But what they do not see is that the mantle is not given for your destruction, it is given for your destiny. The very weight that feels unbearable will also become the anchor that keeps you steady in the storm. The pressure you feel is not punishment, it is preparation. It is heaven shaping you into someone who can carry what is coming without being crushed by it. Remember Elijah and Elisha. The moment the prophet's mantle fell on Elisha, everything in his life changed. He could have walked away, choosing the comfort of his old life, the security of his plows and fields, but the mantle demanded total surrender. Elisha burned his plows and slaughtered his oxen, a public declaration that there was no turning back. That is the nature of the mantle. It requires a burning of your past so that nothing ties you to the place you were before God called you. You cannot carry it while dragging the weight of yesterday's comforts. And yet the mantle is not just a burden, it is also an authority. When heaven places it upon you, you carry the right to speak what he speaks, to act in his name, to confront darkness with light. The mantle is a visible sign in the spiritual realm that you are on assignment from the throne. Hell recognizes it, angels recognize it, creation itself recognizes it. This is why the enemy fights you so fiercely. After the mantle is given, he sees that you now carry the authority to undo his works. He knows the power that rests on your life if you dare to walk fully in your calling. But authority without submission is dangerous. That is why the weight remains to keep you humble before the one who gave it. The mantle will press you to your knees in prayer before it lifts you to your feet in power. It will lead you to seasons of hiddenness before it brings you to moments of influence. It will take you into battles you would never have chosen on your own, but those very battles will reveal the glory of the God who fights for you. The weight of the mantle ensures that you never forget whose mission you are on. Some will envy you for carrying it. They will see the miracles, the open doors, the authority in your voice, and they will want the same. But they will not see the nights you wrestled with God, the tears you poured out in secret, the attacks that came without warning. They will not feel the loneliness that sometimes comes when the mantle sets you apart from the crowd. Carrying the mantle means walking a path that is often misunderstood, even by those closest to you. It means obeying commands that others may question. It means choosing God's voice over every other voice, even when it costs you relationships, opportunities, or comfort. There will be days you will want to lay it down, to go back to the life you had before the call came. You will wonder why God chose you when others seem more qualified, more skilled, more willing. But you must remember, the mantle is not placed on those who are qualified. It is placed on those who are chosen. God qualifies the one he calls, and the weight you feel is not there to crush you. It is there to remind you that you cannot carry this alone. The mantle will keep you leaning on him, dependent on his strength, desperate for his guidance. The danger is when you try to adjust the mantle to fit your comfort. The moment you attempt to lighten its weight by compromising your obedience, you weaken its power. The mantle is most powerful when it rests fully on surrendered shoulders. If you try to wear it half-heartedly, it will become a frustration rather than a force. The only way to carry it is to yield entirely to the one who gave it. Chosen one, do not despise the weight, do not resent the pressing. Do not curse the days of testing. Every moment you bear the mantle faithfully, heaven is shaping you into a vessel fit for the next level of your calling. The weight will train you for victories you have not yet imagined. It will prepare you to stand where others fall, to speak when others are silent, to endure when others quit. It will protect you from pride when success comes, and it will strengthen you in humility when trials come. So wear it with reverence, wear it with gratitude, wear it knowing that you are part of a lineage of those who carried the purposes of God into their generation. You are not just another believer, you are a carrier of a holy assignment. Let the weight remind you of the greatness of the one you serve, and the privilege it is to serve him. The mantle is heavy because the mission is holy. And when the day comes that you stand before him, you will lay it at his feet not as a burden you endured, but as a crown you earned through faithfulness, the final warning chosen one. This is not a drill, not a gentle reminder, not another season of getting ready someday. This is the final warning, the last sound before the door closes, the final call before the window of grace for this moment shuts. The patience of God is vast, but it is not endless. For generations he has reached out, calling his people to turn, to rise, to obey. But every call ignored, every summons delayed, moves the soul closer to a point of no return. This moment is one of those rare thresholds in history where heaven draws a line in the sand and says, now or never. The danger is that you think you have more time, that you believe you can keep postponing obedience until you feel ready. But the truth is, time is not your servant, it is your judge. The longer you wait, the more your heart hardens, and the more your ears grow dull to the voice that calls you. Warnings are not given forever. They are given in mercy to give you a chance to act before it is too late. The tragedy is that many will hear this final warning and still treat it like background noise, thinking tomorrow will look the same as today. But tomorrow will not wait for your convenience. The final warning is never wrapped in comfort. It comes with an edge, a sharpness, a weight that shakes you to your core. It will strip you of your excuses, expose your double-mindedness, and confront you with the truth. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot cling to your safety and still walk in your calling. You cannot keep one foot in the world and one foot in the kingdom and expect the fullness of God's power to flow through you. The final warning does not allow you to hide in the shadows. It forces you to choose light or darkness, surrender or rebellion, life or death. In the days of Noah, the warning was not a secret. The ark stood as a visible sign, day after day, year after year, a constant reminder that judgment was coming. But the people laughed, they mocked. They told themselves the sky had never opened before, so it never would. Until the first drop fell, and when the rains came, the door to the ark was already shut. It was not shut by Noah's hand, it was shut by God's, and no pleading, no pounding on the door could open it again. The time for mercy had passed, the warning had expired. Chosen one, the same principle stands now. The final warning is not a scare tactic, it is an act of love. God does not want you caught outside the ark of his will when the flood of shaking comes. He is giving you one more chance to move, to shift, to align. But you must understand this chance will not linger. Doors of destiny open for a moment and then close. If you hesitate, the opportunity may pass and not return in the same way. The signs are already here, the shaking of the nations, the unraveling of systems, the exposure of hidden corruption, the increase of darkness. These are not random events. They are the trumpet blasts before the final movement. They are heaven's megaphone to a world that has fallen asleep. If you ignore them, you will be swept away by the very storm you were called to stand against. The final warning also reveals the heart. In this moment, God is separating those who truly belong to Him from those who only claim to. Pressure will do that. Shaking will do that. When the final warning comes, those who are rooted in Him will run closer to His presence, while those who are only attached by convenience will drift away. The mantle on your life was not given so you could blend in, it was given so you could stand out, even when standing out costs you everything. And yes, there will be a cost. The final warning demands it. It will require you to leave behind relationships that pull you away from obedience. It will force you to give up opportunities that compromise your integrity. It will demand you walk into the unknown, trusting a God you cannot see more than the security you can touch. The comfort zone is a death trap in the days of the final warning. Only those who are willing to move when God says move will see the fullness of what He promised. The enemy will try to drown out this warning with distraction, fear, and false assurance. He will whisper, "You have more time. It's not that serious. God understands your hesitation." But these are lies. The enemy knows he cannot stop God's plan, but he can keep you from stepping into your role in it. And if he can keep you paralyzed in indecision until the door closes, he wins a battle over your life. This is why the final warning must be louder in your spirit than every other voice. The scriptures are full of moments when the final warning came before a shift in history. The last call before the Red Sea opened. The final night before Israel left Egypt. The last words of the prophets before Israel was taken into exile. In every case, those who acted in the moment of warning walked into deliverance, while those who ignored it faced destruction. The difference was not in God's love for them, it was in their response to the warning. You may feel the urgency now, that sense that something is changing, that the ground beneath your feet is not stable. That is not anxiety, that is the Spirit of God shaking you awake. That is heaven telling you the time to prepare is over, the time to move is now. Every delay is dangerous, every compromise is costly. Every moment you waste in hesitation is a moment the enemy uses to advance. The final warning is not given to paralyze you with fear, but to propel you into action, to cut away every tie that holds you back, to strip from your life every weight that slows you down, to refocus your heart, your priorities, your steps. It is the voice of a Father who loves you enough to disrupt your comfort for the sake of your calling. It is His mercy to shout now, so you will not be lost later. Chosen one, if you hear this, you still have a chance. You are still breathing. The door is still open for now. But do not mistake an open door for a guaranteed future. Walk through it while you can. Lay down your fear, your pride, your excuses. Take the step you have been delaying for years. Say the yes you have been withholding. Answer the call you have been avoiding. Because there will come a moment, perhaps sooner than you think, when the final warning becomes the final silence, when the opportunity passes and the season shifts. And on that day, the only thing that will matter is whether you moved when you were called. The time for delay is gone. The patience of God is a gift, but gifts are not forever. The final warning has been spoken. Now, what will you do, the refining fire chosen one? Before God sends you, He will refine you. Before He places you in the position He promised, He will place you in the fire He prepared. And this is not the fire of destruction, it is the fire of purification. The refining fire is the furnace where all that is false, weak, and unholy in you is burned away, leaving only what can stand in the presence of God. It is the fire that exposes every impurity, every hidden motive, every part of you that still belongs to the old life. And though it may feel like it is breaking you, it is actually making you. The refining fire is not a punishment, it is a process. You do not walk into it because God is angry, you walk into it because God is intentional. The goldsmith does not put gold into the furnace to destroy it. He does it to make it pure, and the longer the gold remains in the fire, the more its impurities rise to the surface. This is what God is doing in you. The heat you feel, the pressure you face, the stripping away of things you once thought you needed it is all part of heaven's preparation. Without this fire, you would step into your calling with too much of you and not enough of him. But here is the truth: the refining fire is not comfortable. It will test you in ways you did not expect. It will bring you into seasons where you cannot rely on your own strength, your own wisdom, or your own resources. It will put you face to face with fears you thought you had conquered and weaknesses you thought you had hidden. It will silence the applause of men so you can hear the voice of God more clearly. It will strip away every false crutch until all you have left is him, and that is exactly the point. You may feel abandoned in this fire, but you are not alone. Just as the fourth man appeared with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the furnace, the presence of God will be with you here. The fire that destroys others will not consume you. It will only consume what is not meant to go with you into your next season. Every betrayal, every delay, every disappointment, every loss, the fire uses them to purify you, not to ruin you. If you try to escape too soon, you will step out half formed, unready, unprepared. But if you endure, you will come out as gold. The refining fire also reveals who is truly for you. When you are in this furnace, some people will leave. Some will not understand. Others will misjudge what is happening, thinking the fire is a sign that you did something wrong. Let them think it. The refining fire is not for public approval. It is for private transformation. God will allow the misunderstanding to remain because it forces you to seek his approval above theirs. The fire isolates you so that you can learn to hear his voice without interference. This fire will also demand surrender. You cannot negotiate your way through it. You can only yield to it. Every time you try to control the process, you delay it. Every time you cling to what God is trying to remove, you make the fire burn hotter. The fastest way through the refining fire is complete submission, telling God, "Burn away everything in me that is not from you." This is dangerous to pray because he will take you at your word, but it is the only prayer that ensures you will step out of the furnace pure, powerful, and ready. The refining fire is not a single event. It can be a season or even multiple seasons. Some fires are short but intense. Others are long and slow, burning away layer after layer until your character matches your calling. Do not compare your fire to someone else's. You do not know what impurities they had to face, and they do not know yours. Trust the process designed for you, because your destiny requires a specific kind of preparation. And understand this: the refining fire is the greatest protection God can give you. Without it, success would destroy you, influence would corrupt you, the mantle would crush you. The fire ensures that when you step into the place God has prepared for you, you will not lose it through pride, compromise, or fear. The very heat you hate now is saving you from a greater fall later. Look at every great servant of God in history. They all had their fire. Joseph had the pit and the prison. Moses had the wilderness. David had the caves while running from Saul. Even the Messiah himself went into the wilderness to be tested before stepping into his mission. If they could not bypass the fire, neither can you. The refining fire is the passageway between promise and fulfillment, between calling and commissioning. The enemy will try to convince you that the fire means God has forgotten you. But the truth is the opposite. The fire means he has marked you. The refining process is proof that you are chosen. If you were not chosen, you would be left alone, untouched, untested, and unprepared. God refines those he intends to use, and the greater the calling, the hotter the fire. So what should you do in the fire? Do not fight it. Do not complain your way through it. Worship in it. Pray in it. Declare the promises of God over your life while the heat surrounds you. Let the fire teach you endurance, humility, faith, and absolute dependence on him. Ask him to reveal what needs to be burned away. Ask him to show you the gold he is forming in you. Every moment you remain faithful in the fire is a strike against the enemy's plan to take you out. And when the refining is complete, you will know it. The same situations that once broke you will no longer shake you. The same temptations that once pulled you will no longer interest you. The same doubts that once crippled you will no longer control you. You will emerge with a strength that is not your own, a purity that is unmistakable, and a fire within you that matches the fire you walked through. Chosen one, the refining fire is not the end of your story, it is the making of it. Do not despise it, do not rush it, do not misunderstand it. You are not being destroyed, you are being prepared. You are not being punished, you are being purified. And when you come out, you will carry a power, an authority, and a clarity you could never have gained any other way. So endure. Let the flames do their work. Let the heat transform you. Because when you step out of this furnace, you will not just carry the mantle, you will carry the fire. And the world will know that you have been with God. The weight of the mantle, chosen one, when heaven places a mantle upon your shoulders, it is not giving you a decoration to wear, it is giving you a responsibility to bear. This mantle is not light because the mission it represents is not small. It is not woven with threads of comfort, but with strands of sacrifice, surrender, and obedience. It is the visible sign in the spiritual realm that you have been chosen, set apart, and marked for a divine purpose. And once it rests on you, there is no returning to the ordinary life you knew before. The weight you feel is the proof that you have been entrusted with something heaven values too much to give to the careless. The mantle does not come to flatter you, it comes to transform you. It will change the way you walk, speak, and think. You cannot carry it and remain the same. From the moment it is placed on you, your steps are no longer your own. Your choices carry eternal consequences, and your words become instruments of life or death. This is why the mantle presses heavily on you. It reminds you that your life is no longer about your comfort, but about the kingdom. And the kingdom is not built on convenience, it is built on obedience. The weight of the mantle also exposes what is not ready in you. It will push on the cracks in your character, bringing weaknesses to the surface so they can be healed or removed. It will not let you hide behind talent or charm, because the mantle is not sustained by skill, it is sustained by surrender. Many admire the appearance of a mantle, but have no idea of the crushing process behind it. They see the authority, but not the agony, the platform, but not the preparation. Think of Elisha. The day Elijah's mantle fell on him, it was not an invitation to fame. It was a call to abandon everything familiar. He burned his plows, slaughtered his oxen, and left behind his old life a public declaration that he was never going back. That is the demand of the mantle. You cannot carry it while clinging to your past. It forces you to make a clean break from anything that competes with your assignment. And here is a truth that many do not want to face. The greater the mantle, the greater the weight. A light calling will allow you to carry it casually, but a heavy calling will require you to bend low under its weight until humility becomes your posture. The mantle is not given so you can stand above others in pride. It is given so you can kneel before God in dependence. Every ounce of authority it carries is anchored in your submission to the one who gave it. If you try to wear it without surrender, it will crush you instead of empower you. This weight is also the mark that you have become dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. The enemy knows when a mantle has been given, and he will wage war to make you drop it. He will send distractions to weaken your focus, temptations to lure you back into old patterns, and discouragement to convince you the weight is too much. But the very resistance you face is proof that the mantle matters. Hell does not waste its energy on what does not threaten it. Carrying the mantle will also cost you relationships. Some will walk away because they do not understand the calling on your life. Others will oppose you because your obedience convicts their complacency. The mantle sets you apart, and that separation can feel lonely. But you must remember, the one who placed it on you will walk with you through every lonely season. And he will bring people into your path who can bear witness to your calling and stand with you under its weight. The mantle demands integrity. It will not allow you to live a double life without consequence. When you carry it, compromise becomes more dangerous because the enemy will look for any crack to exploit. The mantle is both power and responsibility: power to advance the kingdom, responsibility to guard your heart, your words, and your walk. You are not just representing yourself anymore. You are representing the one who sent you. Some days the weight will feel unbearable. You will be tempted to set it down, to take a break from the pressure. But you must understand, this mantle was measured for you. Heaven did not make a mistake in placing it on your shoulders. God knows what he put inside you, and he knows what it will take to bring it out. The weight is not there to break you, it is there to strengthen you for the battles ahead. The danger comes when you try to adjust the mantle to fit your preferences. If you attempt to lighten its weight by lowering your standard of obedience, you will weaken its effectiveness. If you try to mix God's assignment with your own agenda, you will find the power of the mantle fading. The mantle works in fullness only when carried with full surrender. Half-hearted obedience cannot sustain it. The truth is, the mantle is a gift, but it is also a test. It will prove whether you love the mission more than your comfort, the giver more than the gift, the truth more than public opinion. It will require moments where you obey even when it costs you everything. And it will reward you with moments where heaven backs your words and actions in ways that make it clear you are not walking in your own strength. Chosen one, do not despise the weight. Let it teach you to lean on the one who called you. Let it remind you daily that you are not here to build your own name, but to lift up his. Let it keep you humble when success comes and faithful when trials come. Wear it with reverence, knowing that you are part of a lineage of those who carried the purposes of God into their generation and carried them well. One day you will lay this mantle at his feet, and on that day you will not see it as a burden you endured, but as a privilege you embraced. Every tear you cried under its weight, every sacrifice you made, every step you took in obedience will be worth it, because the mantle is heavy, but so is the crown that awaits the faithful.